If I end up ranting in this video, I apologize ahead of time. And yes, there will be spoilers for Peacemaker. Now, today I was hoping to just give you a review for Peacemaker, a final review. But some Snyder cultist morons ruined that for me. And now I'm gonna rant about it. Because I'm so sick and tired of this toxic side of the Snyder fandom that constantly keeps proving to me how wrong I was a year ago when I made videos saying the Snyder fandom wasn't toxic. Guess what? I was wrong. And guess what? These morons constantly keep proving Jody and Andy's signal right. Although, for the most part, they were the morons. But even at the end of the day, Andy and Jody are correct about one thing. And there is a Snyder cult. And that Snyder cult today decided to act very stupid because all I keep seeing is non-stop message. Now, I'm going to spoil it. Right now for Peacemaker. The Justice League shows up in Peacemaker. You see Superman, you see Wonder Woman, you see Aquaman and Flash. But you only see Aquaman and Flash. You see that as Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa. But Superman, you don't really see his face. You do see the Henry Cavill physique, but that's about it. You do see Wonder Woman. I noticed no one's complaining about Wonder Woman, but to be fair, Wonder Woman is getting a third film, so whatever. And this caused a lot of prior to this, Peacemaker was already controversial among Snyder fans. And let me remind you this. I'm a Snyder fan. I keep constantly having to remind people this because apparently, to some people in the fandom, I betrayed Snyder. Apparently I have. And again, I understand the vast majority of Snyder fans are some of the best people I've met, nicest people, kindest people. But today, a lot of things are proving. Let me just show you the first tweet I saw. I'm only going to read this first tweet, but literally some guy, Parsian 2.0, I don't know what his name. I'm not even going to try putting it on the screen. He called someone mentally handicapped because they were praising Peacemaker. That's all they did. All they did as a fan was say, hey, I love Peacemaker. And they just happen to put many tweets. You can read it. You can, in fact, pause this video if you need to read these tweets. And this moron decides to put mentally handicapped. And I keep seeing a lot of I see a lot of people saying this James Gunn isn't honoring the Snyder legacy. What the heck do you want James Gunn to do? He's not allowed to use Superman. He's not allowed to get Henry Cavill Superman. He was allowed to do Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller. Just let James Gunn do his thing. And you know what? A lot of these Snyder fans claim that they were for the director's vision when it came to Zack Snyder stuff or for David Ayer stuff. But when it's James Gunn, oh no, that's where the line draws. Guess what, you hypocritical bullshit-looking idiots? Guess what, you morons? James Gunn's also a director, just like Zack Snyder, just like David Ayer. Guess what? He has his vision. Let James Gunn have his vision. How hypocritical do you have to be to complain about a director not getting a vision and then complaining about a director that does have his vision set? There's a reason why the Snyder fandom is one of the most laughed at fandoms in the movie space. Constantly, I see people trying to ignore the Snyder fandom because of these kinds of stuff. And then I get messages from fucking morons telling me, oh, I'm not a real Snyder fan. Oh, you betrayed Zack Snyder. Oh my god, you don't really care about the Snyder fandom. Oh my god, the Snyder fandom isn't toxic. Guess what? This small minority of toxic fans are gonna ruin it for the rest of us. Because guess what? One little problem will evolve into a much larger problem. That piece of glass that you hit under the rug, it's eventually going to stab someone. And guess what? It's going to stab someone when it comes to the Snyder fandom. I am so sick and tired of this. And anytime I make these videos, I get people telling me, oh, but that's a small minority. Forget about it, Isaac. If I forget about it, no one's going to bring it up. Because the sad thing is, too many pathetic Snyder YouTubers don't even want to call out this BS. And I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but I don't give an F anymore. I see too many people saying, oh my god, James Gunn doesn't want to honor the Snyder legacy. Oh my god, look at DC. They're not even showing a Superman. It's just a 2-second clip of Superman for just floating real quick. It's literally just that. No one's complaining about Wonder Woman showing up for 2 seconds. No one's complaining about Aquaman just showing up for 2 seconds. And then even some Snyder fans are saying, oh my god, James Gunn just wants to say the F word because it's funny. And Aquaman even says the F word. He says, F you, Barry. And Some Snyder fans are like, oh my god, James Gunn just wants to use it to be edgy. Guess what? Ben Affleck's Batman used the F word. Cyborg used the F word. And then someone, I don't know how I saw this, but someone on Twitter had the audacity to call James Gunn a racist because Cyborg didn't show up there. You're telling me a show that one of the leads is a black woman. You're telling me a show with any black male also stars, as one of the main cast. You're telling me a show with those two characters. You're telling me you're telling me just not having Cyborg for 2 seconds makes him a racist? Come on, man. Come on. This fandom keeps proving to me how absolutely pathetic we keep getting. The more and more time passes by, the less and less I care about this fandom. And my favorite movie of all time is Zack Snyder's Justice League. But guess what? These toxic fans boycotting Warner Brothers, all this and that, they're ruining it for everyone. They're ruining it for everyone. If you don't like a show, then don't watch it. Give it a bad review if you want to, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you want, and then move on from it. Why do you have to make so many tweets saying, oh my god, James Gunn this, James Gunn that? How hypocritical do you have to be, you complete moron? And again, us Snyder YouTubers, one of the worst jobs we've done is never calling out the toxicity. Because so many of these Snyder YouTubers will constantly say, oh, well, I call out toxicity. No, you don't. Show me a video where you call out toxicity. Oh, well, for 2 seconds, there was this one guy that said, F Hamada, and I didn't tell him anything, but I implied that I didn't like what he said. Yeah, it's always that. It's always that. And it's fucking pathetic. And I'm sorry if I'm yelling. I'm sorry if I'm ranting. I make these videos and all I get is nonstop messages from Snyder bros telling me, "Oh my god, Isaac, how you don't understand." And I remember once I even got this message where someone said, "Well, they really aren't Snyder fans if they're being like that." They are Snyder fans. They are. But our jobs as Snyder fans is we understand the problem, acknowledge the problem, and let's try our best to solve it. We're not going to solve it by ignoring it. Again, let me use the example of that shattered piece of glass under the rug. Eventually it's going to stab someone. Ignoring it and just leaving it under the rug, eventually it's going to stab someone. It's the Snyder fandom. That small toxic side keeps growing and growing and growing. And reminder, most toxic people don't know when they're being toxic. That is fact right there. There's been times where I've been toxic and I didn't know it. There's been times where maybe some of you guys were toxic and you didn't know it. And it's funny because a lot of these people just tell me, oh, it's a small side of it. It doesn't matter. It'll brush over. It's been like years. That toxic side only keeps expanding. Let's stop ignoring it. Call it out for once. Because the only way this fandom will grow and be better is that we try to find the problems with it and we try to solve it. Because hiding under a rug is not going to solve anything. And I see people saying, oh my god, DC keeps disrespecting Superman. Where's the disrespect? He shows up for 2 seconds. Quick cameo. And even prior to this, someone said that Peacemaker was disrespecting Superman because at one point he believed that Superman had a poop fetish. It's like, how is that disrespectful? It's just a quick joke. I get if you don't find the joke funny. Comedy is subjective. Same thing with movies. And when I see these people saying, when I saw that comment, someone calling somebody mentally handicapped just because they love Peacemaker. This fandom claims to be anti-bullying, anti-this, anti-that. But yet I see it all the time. When I gave a good review for the Suicide Squad, that was the day I kind of quit on the Snyder fandom. Because I gave a good review and I kept getting messages of people telling me, how could you dare support a Walter Hamada project? Or how could you dare support non-Snyder related stuff? And I was surprised. I was like, wait, what? You're telling me I can't like both? And then people even have the audacity to say I'm a fake Snyder fan. I was always putting hashtag release the Snyder Cut everywhere when it was coming out. Even if you go watch my videos prior to the Snyder Cut being released, all of it was just me praising how much I was excited for it. And then even after, I say it's my favorite movie of all time. It really is. You see the background, right? Batman vs. Superman up there. Jared Leto Joker right here. Zack Snyder Justice League poster right there. How am I a fake Snyder fan? And, you know, there is a Snyder cult. It's not sugar-coated anymore. There is a Snyder cult. And look, I'm lucky enough that I'm a small enough YouTuber that I don't receive as much hatred like as major channels like John Campia, Matt Jarbo, all those. I'm lucky of that. But even I have been sent death threats at some points because of my criticism of the Snyder fandom. And people think and even someone said I was a grifter because I make these videos. It's like, at the end of the day, the reason why I make these videos is because I do think there is a problem and I want to bring it up. I'm so done shilling for the Snyder fandom. Because shilling for a fandom, we don't accomplish anything. And look, if you don't like Peacemaker, that's cool, man. That's fine. I encourage it if you don't like a show. I encourage it. But to attack others for enjoying a project, to attack others for enjoying something, and to attack, because James Gunn, anytime I see a James Gunn Twitter post or Instagram post, all I see is comments saying, boycott Warner Brothers, restore the Snyderverse. When I see these fucking idiotic comments, it's like, what the heck? James Gunn has nothing to do with it. James Gunn was hired to do a project. That's what he's doing. I remember even prior to the Suicide Squad coming out, I had this one. So I was friends with this Snyder fan who I've stopped talking to, and I've cut all ties with him. But I remember one of the dumbest things he said was James Gunn stole David Ayer's movie. And I'm like, what? How? How did he steal it? They weren't even... What? You do realize that the David Ayer Suicide Squad stuff happened in 2016. And then after that, they just stopped. And then eventually James Gunn was hired around 2019, yeah, it was around that time. And then he made his movie. And even then, he didn't have to, but he thanked David Ayer. And he kept praising David Ayer's film. What more do you want from him? And again, you don't have to like James Gunn. You don't even have to like his stuff. Again, I encourage it if you, let's say you have a social media platform, doesn't matter, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you prefer to post on. I encourage it if you make a review and say, hey, look, I hated Peacemaker, I didn't like it, all this and that. That's fine. But to go out and call people mentally handicapped, and I know it's just one tweet, but trust me, I've been reading a lot more tweets. This was just the one that stood out to me the most. I see a lot of people saying that Warner Bros. Is betraying Superman, how they don't understand, they're not really showing us Superman because we had the headless Superman in Shazam. It's like, if you look at the DCEU, you do realize they are making Superman projects, right? So, be patient with that. But prior to that, the timeline between Justice League, the Joss Whedon version, which came out in like 2017, I believe, and now, every reference we've had to Superman has been nonstop. This godlike man who is a great guy, and he's super, you see it in Shazam. Any reference to Superman is always a good reference. Where is the disrespect? They haven't happened to make a movie, but guess what? We've had so many Superman movies. So what if Warner Bros. Wants to take their time with making a Superman film? And a lot of people consider it betrayal that they're not casting Henry Cavill because that's what the fans want. And again, fan entitlement is a problem with fandom in general. Too many fans act way too entitled when it comes to movies or even sports or music or whatever. Listening to fans doesn't get you anywhere. And there's this quote from a football coach. I don't know what it's called. Or I don't know what his name is, but you could probably, if you hear me, you could probably type it in on Google and you'd find it. But I even posted it once on one of my other videos. But I think the coach said, if you listen to the fans, and he's a football coach, by the way, if you listen to the fans, then you'll be with them next week. Kind of implying that you'll eventually lose your job and you'll be with the fans in the stadium. look, there's a reason why we, and I include myself, us fans, there's a reason why we aren't producers. There's a reason why we aren't filmmakers. Because we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, and we really don't know what. Because I also see some morons saying that the Snyderverse should be restored on HBO Max. Financially, that would be the stupidest decision ever. Look, and I want the Snyderverse restored. And I believe if the Snyderverse gets restored, it could make more money than what it did prior. And it made decent money. It didn't make the greatest money, but it made decent money. But it's understandable that Warner Bros. Wants to move on. And look, I don't like that. I don't like that. But look, guess what? I'm looking at what we do have. Instead of being this, this spoiled brat, I'm looking at what we got. And I try to look at it in an optimistic view. And look, I just happen to like Suicide Squad. I happen to love Peacemaker. I happen to enjoy Aquaman, Shazam. The only really DCEU movies I haven't liked is Wonder Woman 84, and Justice League 2017. And of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League is my favorite movie of all time. But I'm excited for The Flash. I'm excited for Black Adam. I'm excited for Aquaman 2. I'm excited for the Batman, obviously. And look, all I'm asking is let's be better. Let's be better. And I'm expecting some hate comments. And guess what? I'll take it. Because at the end of the day, when people come to my channel, I want them to hear what I'm really thinking. Not this shill who's pretending to be somebody he's not. But I want you to listen to me and, just understand what I'm trying to say. And then let's conversate. Because like a year ago, I used to be afraid of ever slightly criticizing the Snyder fandom. I used to. Now I don't give a crap. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna win anything if I just shill for a fandom. Because guess what? I'm not a shill. Although a lot of Snyder fans like to use the term shill a lot, but which is funny because a lot of times you can't prove someone's a shill. It's weird, but I don't know. But that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please smash the like button, subscribe, comment down below. I don't know. You do whatever you want to do. Thank you to all the members who are on the screen. Lit Alex, Pedro Bonilla, BK Dan, Rhea, Jedi Sith Master, and Cobra Kai Never Dies. Thank you for supporting the channel financially. And I'll see you guys next time. And I'm expecting some comments. I don't know. I don't give a crap. I'll move on.